everyone, and welcome back to the When Words Collide pop-up podcast. We are here live at When Words Collide 2026. I'm your host, Lucas, and with me is one Kate Butler. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fantastic, thank you. Having a great time. So you're here at When Words Collide, of course, and with us you have a few of your books.
I do, yes.
Yeah, so would you mind introducing yourself and talking about some of the stuff you've written?
For sure. I'm Kate Butler, they, them. I lived in Calgary for many years, but I am from Winnipeg and I live in Winnipeg again. I write primarily adult fantasy and contemporary young adult. I focus very much on queer stories. I like a lot of unusual romances, so to speak, and I love when they break your heart.
Oh yeah, the Heartbreakers.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's awesome. Great to be talking with you. So is this your first time at One Words Collide?
It is, yes.
Oh, awesome. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. What do you think of the event so far?
I'm loving it. My brain is so full. I've learned so much.
Great. Have you been to like the panels and all that?
Yes. I did 3 panels yesterday, and I wish I could tell you which ones they are, but
Because I was going to ask if you had a favorite or like a standout so far.
yes, actually, Dan Baldwin's panel yesterday about contracts.
Oh, awesome.
It was fantastic.
The funniest thing, like a minute before you walked over here, I interviewed Dan. Just like an hour, we had an hour-long chat about copyright and contracts. So that's a very funny coincidence.
It's so interesting to me.
It's so and Dan's a great guest to talk to. So when it comes to the stuff you've written, you talk about your interest in romance, specifically those that are heartbreaking.
Yes.
What kind of got you into that space? What made you want to write that specifically?
I like reading it.
Fair enough.
That's the easiest answer.
No, fair.
It's my favorite thing to read, and it got to a point where I wasn't finding what I wanted anymore. And you know what they say, if you're not finding what you want to read, write it.
That's a really great way of putting it. So if you don't mind, one of the examples of one of the books you have here. So this one, Heartbreak. I wonder what that one's about. And you mentioned queer relationships specifically. There have been a lot of queer writers and queer stories talked about and shown here at When Words Collide, as there often is. Do you think we're kind of living in a period where those kinds of stories are flourishing even more than they have in recent years?
Oh, absolutely. And I think it's fantastic. I think it's been very, very hard for queer writers to break into the space. Mm-hmm. I'm self-published because it was very hard for me to find anyone who was going to publish my books.
Oh yeah.
Mostly just what I write is queer romances, but it's more about the personal growth of the main character. So Heartbreak Blog, for instance, the main character doesn't know she's into women at the start. And like that's her slow discovery throughout the book, is her falling in love with her best friend.
Okay.
And realizing, oh shit.
That's fantastic. I've had the pleasure of talking to a lot of queer writers, specifically in years prior of doing this podcast. And what I noticed a lot from speaking with them and hearing about their work is, especially through events like When Words Collide, there's much more of a community for work like that and for authors like that. And for anyone else who is either queer themselves or writing queer stories, would you have any suggestions for kind of breaking into it proper, or like you said you were self-published, like any advice for getting your books out there?
Talk to people, talk to queer people.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big one. Fortunately, most of my friends are queer, and I am as well. So it was very easy to like get into those spaces for me. But I know it can be very daunting. It is and isn't such a closed community. Like it's very hard to build trust within the queer community, I think, because so many of us have been hurt by other people. That's just the nature of life. And so it can be very, very hard to build up that trust and that reputation within the community so that people will start taking you seriously.
Yeah.
And I know that my own personal journey was different than a lot of my friends. I've always known I was queer, so there was none of that like, oh, one day it like slowly came on. And my family is super accepting, super
Oh, that's
warm.
wonderful.
My partner is also queer, so it worked it worked out really well. I have like the ideal trajectory, and I know that's not what everyone has. And so there has been a bit of I've had comments about some of my books being like, oh, that's not realistic. And I'm just like, well, I'm writing from what I know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't know what it is to have your family hate you.
Mm-hmm.
But I really want people to have that kind of hope.
Yeah.
And I do think with like the next generation coming up, there is going to be a lot more. Hopefully, my story will become the norm.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully.
Yeah.
We can only hope. And when it does come to those writing from some less desirable personal or social situations, would you have anything to say about how those stories could be translated to books? Because you mentioned you love the love stories that are heartbreaking specifically.
Yeah.
Would you know of a way or have any advice on how to translate those personal tragedies or misgivings into fiction or into writing?
Oh, absolutely. First of all, write what you know.
Yeah.
If you understand heartbreak, you're gonna write heartbreak a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Read so much.
Yeah.
Watch Brokeback Mountain 1,000 times. Watch media about yearning. The what is it like 2007 Tristan Isolde?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
all yearning. Brokeback Mountain, all yearning.
Staring at each other intensely.
Yes.
2 hours.
And like figure out where you have yearned in life. Figure out where your heartbreak has happened. And so one of the things, okay, slight tangent. One of the things that we do in that my therapist has me doing is writing about my life as if it's a character in a book.
Ah, okay.
And so like when something bad has happened to me, I then write a story about that, like just a short story about what has happened. And it really helps for exploring my own feelings and also dealing with it in a way that is depersonalizing it.
Yeah.
So viewing it from an outside lens. And I think that's so important. You get an objective view on it, and it helps you really identify the core issues of where that hurt is coming from. And I found that so helpful for my writing.
Yeah.
Like I'm able to write pain, personal, like emotional pain, so much better.
Yeah. I think that's a really great way of looking at it. And you had mentioned, it's important to absorb a lot, whether it be, literature or film or TV. You mentioned some queer films or films with a lot of yearning in particular. Yeah. For anyone who is mainly interested in writing specifically, would you have any suggestions for queer literature, either written by a queer person or about queer characters that you'd recommend someone trying to get into that space should read?
I'm going to toot my own horn and say my book Oath.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Which is, it's all yearning. It's about a lord and his knight who fall in love and are torn apart by war.
Ah, tale as old as time.
Yes. So, honestly, this is one of my favorite things that I have written or read about yearning. I want to say that it's called Say I Love You. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
I would have to look it up. But it's about these two girls who are not friends.
Okay.
And they are forced to work on a film project together.
Ooh.
And over the course, and they have very different ideas of how that's supposed to go. One of them is very rigid, has a very strict idea of what that should be. The other is very like let loose. And they find the spaces where they each connect and fill and understand where they fit for each other.
That's awesome.
And it's just so beautifully written.
Yeah.
I cried a lot reading it.
Well, as though I'm not queer myself, but I am in film, so I found myself in situations having to work with people with very much different views on how to achieve the same goal many times. So I'll keep an eye out for that one as well. That's great. Actually, you have 3 books here. We looked at the other one and then Oath. What's the one that we haven't seen?
Blue Door Cafe, which is actually it sells the best out of all of my books. It consistently sells out at Indigo in Winnipeg.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
These are all stocked in store.
Nice.
It's about a young woman who's just graduated high school who works in a cafe, the Blue Door Cafe, and she has no idea what she wants to do with her life, but everyone has an opinion. And while she's working there, she meets a trans artist who really opens up her eyes to the possibility that she doesn't need to know what she wants to do right now. She's 19.
Yeah.
Like, she's got her whole life ahead of her. And just doing what she actually loves and not conforming to anyone else's ideas. And it has a very bittersweet ending.
Those are all in right now. Those are in.
Yeah, I almost wrote a sadder ending for it. All of these almost had sadder. But they all wound up with like bittersweet endings.
Okay. Best of both worlds, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's great. And you mentioned that these were at Indigo. I was going to say, if anyone out there listening wants to find your work or find you, where could they go about doing that?
I'm on most social media as, what's my handle? At katebutlerbooks. I also have a website, katebutlerbooks.ca.
Okay.
And yeah, I do have a big project coming out soon on BackerKit for my newest book called Thistles and Thorns, which is kind of Crimson Peak meets Beauty and the Beast, but not the Disney version, the original French version.
Ooh, okay.
It's a dark folklore fantasy, and it's a sapphic fantasy.
Ooh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah,
Very
it's
interesting.
turning out beautifully.
Nice.
It goes live on BackerKit on October 29th.
Ooh, all right. A couple months down the road. Very exciting. So definitely those out there listening, keep an eye out for that. And I also just wanted to quickly ask, we kind of talked about your advice for getting into writing, like writing what you know and pulling from what you're already aware of. Would you have any more to say or advice to give about specifically self-publishing? Because we kind of live in a time when that's a more popular option that people take.
Yeah, and a big part of this, because there's not a ton of difference now between self-publishing and traditional publishing. Most trad publishers make you do your own marketing now. Like, you've got to do all your own promo stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of creative control. My biggest tip would be do not settle.
Okay.
Don't settle for okay. Don't settle for fine. You're in control. So you should be picky. You should take your time on things. Most editors will sample edit like 1,000 words so you can see how you'll work with that editor. Don't go with someone just because they're the cheapest. Figure out someone who's going to work with your personality. Same with cover artists. And whatever you do, do not rely on AI.
Yeah, because I was going to say, the covers for the books you have here are gorgeous, especially Blue Door Cafe.
Yeah, this was done by an Indonesian artist.
Oh, lovely.
Who I found on Reedsy. Reedsy is a fantastic resource.
Okay.
You can find editors, you can find marketers, you can find cover designers, formatters. Everything you need is on there. It's expensive, and Reedsy does take a cut.
Okay.
But well worth it. Oath was done by a friend of mine, who is an incredible artist.
Yeah, I can tell.
And then Heartbreak Blog was done by me.
Oh, that's you. Yes. Oh, well, that's lovely. Oh, that's just gorgeous.
I do most of my own covers. These two are the only two that I did not do.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that this is really good. This is great. Very vibrant, very colorful. I love it.
Yeah. My mom and I are actually starting a small indie press specifically to help people self-publish.
Wow.
So we'll be providing like editing assistance, covers,
Nice.
a little bit of marketing because she has a PhD in marketing.
Oh, wow.
And between the two of us, we do have a wide combined experience, and I'm working on my editor's certificate from Simon Fraser University.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, we're going to be doing like full self-publishing packets for people who are trying to get into it but don't have any idea where to start.
Oh, that's great.
Including like coaching through it and everything.
Nice.
It is called Cupid O Books.
Oh, that's great. That's lovely. Well, thank you so much for talking with me. It's been an absolute pleasure. And thank you all out there for listening. This has been, once again, the When Words Collide pop-up podcast here at When Words Collide 2026. I've been your host, Lucas. Thank you for listening.